Hey, it's your man Bonta 83 for Successful Convicts. And this is for our count. It's Monday. I'm back. I know I was a little late, and it's a cardinal sin to be late for count. Luckily, the guards ain't came through my room yet. As you see, sitting here with my ID, waiting for the guards to come through and ask me my inmate number 08168 Like I said before, these are numbers that you'll never forget, especially if you're in the federal system, because in the federal system, these numbers go with you for life. So if you catch a Fed case at 18 years old, boom, you do your time. Well, hopefully, you don't get life, but you do your time. Say you do 1 year. Let's say you do 6 months. Let's say you do 3 months just to show you how severe it is. 18 years old, you do 3 months in a federal prison for a federal crime or whatever. Boom. You get 40. You catch another federal case. These are going to be your same numbers. These numbers go with you for life. Now, I don't know how it works in the state, but I think you keep the same state numbers too, because you got to face it, the government's lazy. They don't want to create a whole new profile and new number and all that type of stuff. But anyway, it's Monday. I got to get ready for work myself. Like a lot of other people got to get ready for work. Also, let me say this too. Smash that like button. And if you ain't already, subscribe to this channel, because I'm giving out life advice. I'm getting out some financial tips. Can't really say financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor, so to speak, even though even a homeless person on the street can tell you something that can possibly set you straight for the rest of your life financially, but they're not technically a financial advisor, so have to set that out. Also, feel free to donate to the channel. Go ahead, hit the super chat, ask a question. Your question will go to the top. I will answer it. Everybody will see it, and it'll be a great day for everybody. And I appreciate it. So let's see what other buttons they got on here. You can show your support with the super chat and all that type of stuff. So let me see. Let me put this up there. I want to let's see. I'm just gonna play around with this. Okay, this is what I asked. What are your plans for the week? Just want to know what are your plans beside going to work, and doing this type of stuff. Because one thing about work, we can't let our jobs, that's what I want to say, our jobs, even our careers, we can't let them dictate our life. Life is so precious. And I mean, this is not just exclusive to those who have been inmates in a prison before, or even in a county jail or whatever. This is exclusive to everybody. But being in that prison cell or room or dorm or whatever, but being in prison, if you don't learn nothing else, you learn the value of time and life, because you don't get that time back. I don't care if you got a day, I don't care if you got life, anywhere in between. That time cannot be taken back. You can't get that time back. And it's crazy, because what I learned about prison is really just an overrated babysitting place. Because literally, how much time does a person need for a crime that was committed? You know what I'm saying? I get it. Some crimes, you don't need to be in society ever again. But, I got different beliefs on that. I don't want to get back, and get the place in my personal opinions that might conflict with some other people's personal opinions. And then it cause a whole uproar. And, you got to be careful on this YouTube platform. Let's see. That's my man Joe from Being Real. Being Real is a channel that I'm gonna collab with in the near future, near future. And I'll probably collab with him a few times because what he's doing is like right there with what I'm trying to do. My main focus is trying to do it for people who've been incarcerated, as well as everybody else too, because hey, in these days and times, if you haven't been locked up on probation or some type of, you know, something in that area, you know somebody. It's almost like when I was in the military, as well as let's say going to my trial. When they was picking my trial, this was crazy. I actually had two people where they was picking out for the jury who had never had an interaction with uh African American, Black, Moors, but that's a whole nother subject. But I had two people who had said they had never had interaction. Both of them was young too, which to me was shocking. But you know, it is what it is. Of course, they got kicked off. They didn't get picked for the jury. The whole jury selection thing is crazy. They got a group of people, and then it's like, got to zap my dog. She barking. Got to pick these people. My lawyer, they go through the list and like say a person, boom, person A, you know, my lawyer asks them questions. The prosecutor asks them questions. So the prosecutor is trying to find the best people who he feel would be better to prosecute me, and my lawyer is trying to find the people who they feel would let me go. So they dwindle down till they get 13 people because you always hear judged by 12, but they always have an alternate in case one of those people fall off, some happen, they can't make it no more. Then the other person's already been there since the beginning. They take that person place. But when it gets to the end, if that person is still there, then they excuse that person, which is crazy. Okay, my man said, taking back, I'm going to try to get a business line of credit from my local bank. And if they say no, I'm going to tell them to call you. Okay, we have to talk. I'm not understanding that right now. Got a lot of things in my head going on too, so I can't focus on the questions, but that's what's up. Tell them to call me because when they say no, I'm going to make them say yeah, because that's one thing we got to learn, man. No is just not yet. A lot of people in this world, until you've been faced with that time where, because once you're in prison, it's over. You know what I mean? It's over for what you was gonna do yesterday and all that type of stuff. Now you're in the prison world. Now it starts. So it's not over like your life is over, but it's over for whatever plans you had until you get back out of prison. Because it ain't like you go to prison, then you can go do this, and then you come back to prison. No, it ain't like that. It's like prison, you here. So now you got to focus on here. You got to live by these rules and you got to do what they say. Nothing is more degrading than the whole prison system. Is just the way it's set up is just crazy. Because, for instance, I remember after visits, right? Humiliating process. Now, somebody who never been to prison, you would think, oh, visits, that's a good time. You get to see your friends and loved ones or whatever. You get to leave basically out of the prison. You go to the visiting room. Yeah, that's the great part. Now, here's the not so great part. One, you got the mental thing when you see your people leave and you realize you going back to prison and they going back to the world, and you know what I mean? And that whole mental thing. But two, you got to get strip searched. Yep, you got to get strip searched going back from the visit. To me, it was just really humiliating. Getting strip searched. It's not working. Get strip searched. You got to bend over, spread your butt cheeks, cough to make sure you don't have nothing hidden up your rectum. But to me, and this is not even, I'm not even trying to be funny, but I think some of those guards just like looking at men genitalia, because to me it was just like too much of a happy thing for them to go through. And I remember being in Duluth FPC. FPC stands for Federal Prison Camp. But I was in Duluth, and Duluth. I don't know if you know about the city of Duluth, Minnesota. One is very cold. You think Minnesota's cold? Duluth is really, really cold. Duluth is so cold. We used to be watching shows, and we would put a soda, pop, whatever you call it. We would put that out the window in a plastic bag, hanging out the window during a commercial break. By the time the next commercial break came, we take it out the window, it'd be like a slushy. No joke, right hand to God. But yeah, so Duluth had this incident back in I think, don't quote me on the exact year, but it was like in 1914, where these three black men had supposedly did some, of course, it was something involving a white woman because that was the big no-no back in those times. And they locked them up in the county jail, and supposedly a mobbed the police station, drugged them out of the jail, and hung them in the downtown Duluth area. And they, of course, the town gathered around the bodies, took pictures. You can Google it. It's pictures where the three black men hanging from the light posts, and even one guy's like this. He's like, you know, pointing at the bodies like this what happens when black people come to Duluth or whatever. So every year around that time that it happened is a big frenzy, people protest and all that type of stuff. But anyway, so that just gives you, I'm just painting a picture of the I want to say the mentality of the people of Duluth, the white people of Duluth, especially because those people in that picture, the guards that grew up in Duluth and was born and raised in Duluth, that's their ancestors, that's their aunts and uncles. You see what I'm saying? So this mentality, go, not to say that they always prejudiced or whatever, but what I'm getting at, I remember going on visit one week, it was a Friday, and I was the only black guy that went on visit that day because most people got to visit Saturday and Sunday because visits on Friday was Friday nights. So a lot of people, after getting off work, they couldn't drive because majority of people from Minneapolis, they couldn't drive that I think it's like 3.5 hours to go visit and then come right back. Some people did. They would get a hotel room. They'd visit that Friday night. Then they'd come Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and then they would head out, go back to the cities or whatever. But anyway, I was the only black guy out there. And then he'd tell me, because in Duluth, it was a prison camp, so it was like random searches. So when you would leave visiting, wasn't guaranteed that you was gonna have to take get strip search. But in Sandstone, FCI, which is Federal Correctional Institution, then you got the USP, which is United States Penitentiary, and then you got the prison camp, FPC, Federal Prison Camp. So all of a sudden he tell me random, I gotta do a strip search. So I already knew, but I can't really, of course, I can't really point it out. I can't, I don't have any solid proof, but I know what time it is. Sometimes you just know things, but you don't really know, but you know what I mean? One of those type of things. So he's like, yeah, you got to get strip searched. So I'm like, why do I have to get strip searched? So he's like, oh, it's just random. And I just looked at him. And I'm like, he gonna say, did I hear air brakes? So I said, is it a truck in here? So we had our little beef, you know what I mean? Because I didn't like him. They used to call him Bart. They used to call him Bart Simpson, right? So I didn't like him. He had that nasty attitude, that you're an inmate, I'm a guard, like you was just a whole nother species, or you was just scum of the earth or whatever, and you got those guards in there that feel like that. And then of course you got the guards that treat everybody like people and they try to make you have a good day and stuff like that. Sadly, in higher level prisons, when it's a riot or something goes down with the inmates and the guards, usually those are the ones that get it first because they're accessible. You know, they friendly, they happy go lucky, and they right there, and they caught off guard. But you know, when it comes down to it like that, in that environment, it's inmates and prison guards. You know, it ain't no, oh, you're a cool prison guard. No, he's a prison guard, off with his head, you know, or whatever. I remember my buddy was telling me about the crack riots in '87. So they came out with this law, which was about in '87, the crack law, which meant that if you got caught with crack, and again, I think I said this before, crack and rock cocaine is two different things. What everybody calls crack and people say crackheads and all that stuff, they're not smoking crack. They're smoking rock cocaine. Crack, well, rock cocaine is when you take cocaine powder and you put it in water and mix it with baking soda and put heat to it. So I've heard. So crack is when you take powder cocaine and you cook it with ether. Now, I don't even know where you would get ether from, but that's crack. That's a highly addictive form of cocaine. And in most urban areas, most hoods, they're not smoking crack. They're smoking rock cocaine. But they label it as crack and they give it this big, not, I'm not saying that crack is good, but they make it way worse than it is. You know what I'm saying? So hence where you get all the time. So this crack law was for every gram of cocaine powder, it was equal to no, I'm saying it wrong. For every 1 gram of crack cocaine, rock cocaine, it was equal to 100 grams of powder. So if you got caught with 1,000 grams, which is a kilo of rock cocaine, it was equivalent in how much time you're gonna get to 100 kilos of powder. And that was crazy. Now, what did I get caught with? I got caught with 1,213 grams. So let's do the math. 1,213. 1,213. Hold on. Phone tripping. Clear. 1,213 times 100. So what I got caught with was equivalent to 121,300 grams of powder cocaine, which is 121 keys. Wow. I never did the math on that before. I just knew it was crazy over. So at the time of my sentence, I was under the 100-to-1 law. So during this, when they first made it, they were supposed to repeal it or fix it and make it a little bit more just, because who sells rock cocaine? Majority black and brown people. So I remember when I was going through the county, the actor Morton Downey Jr. got caught with like a kilo or something like that, but they just charged him with possession. So what black and brown people were getting charged with, even if it was like an 8 ball, 3.5 grams. Possession with the intent to distribute. Now, possession with the intent to distribute makes this take on some totally different. So now here he is with 1,000 grams. He's just in possession, just possession of it, which means he probably was going to, you know, sniff it, smoke it, whatever. He was going to use it this much. But then I get caught with this much. Well, I didn't get caught with that much, but I'm just saying I get caught with this much. And they say, oh, with the intent to distribute, he was going to break that down and sell it, which is more time. So that was the whole thing with the disparity in crack and powder, and they were supposed to fix it. So they didn't, and it was a big old riot in the prison system. Riots went off. So my buddy was telling me about this riot that happened. And he said it was a lady. She was real nice. She was a sweet lady, worked in the kitchen. She was one of the kitchen guards, and one of those guards that treated inmates like people, and tried to make you have a good day and did as much as she could for you. Said a dude took a hot boiling pot of water for coffee. You got the coffee pot for the water. And she was coming through, la 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 la, splash, hit in the face with it. And he said, man, she was just screaming, ah! And that's what kicked the riot off. It's sad. It's sad, but it's always going to be casualties and wars. It's sadder things that have happened. I can go on and on. I can talk on here for over 24 hours about the sad and atrocities that's been happening through history and through time, but we can't do nothing about it. All we can do is go forward, which is what this channel is all about. What do we do now that we're here from the start, and how do we go forward? That's what my man Being Real, his channel is all about real estate and the economy. And he's like, I guess you can call, he probably wouldn't call himself an expert, but I'm going to say he's an expert at it. He's been doing it for numerous of years. He's going to help me get myself together because, hey, I've been out since 2008 and I've made many mistakes. I've made many mistakes over and over again. You know what I'm saying? I've been presented with opportunities to do the wrong thing that would that would possibly take me back to prison, and probably for even more time, because I have a addictive personality. Like, I don't just do something little, which is why I got caught with so much, because I'm the type of person, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it big. You know what I mean? And sometimes some things you don't need to do at all, and you really don't need to do them big. And especially when it comes to illegal stuff, which is why this channel exists. Don't want to do nothing illegal at all, because it's so many streams of income out here where you can do stuff legal and get paid from it. So many. And I intend to delve on a lot of those. Let you know, like, you can do this, you can do that. And going back to what I was saying, my man, Being Real, Joe, check out his channel too, Being Real. Let me see, how can I put that up? Can I post that in there? I don't even know how to do it. Let me see right quick. Yeah, I still gotta learn how to work this live. But as you see right there from his comment, Being Real, I believe you can probably click on his picture. Let me see if it happens when I do it. Nah, it's just nah. But I believe you can. See, I'm on the live, so I got the moderator position, so my buttons are a little bit different. But check them out. And if you don't check them out now, you will, because I'm going to have them on, and I'm going to ask them questions about, real estate. And if you was, just starting out, which most of us, when we get out, we starting out, we're trying to get our feet in the right direction, planted on firm soil, and get to walking that walk and get to being successful convicts, not just convicts, but successful convicts, ex-cons, ex-felons, whatever you want to call it. But we want to be successful. That's definitely what you call it. So the week is young. It's Monday. For the majority of society, this starts the work week. Some people start on some people start all days of the week. Some people got today off. But majority of society starts on Monday morning, Monday evening, Monday night. I'm evening. Like I said, I got to be there at 5:45. I know it's bad. I'm yawning already. But we all got to do something, right? Unless we hit that lottery. And then even when we hit the lottery, what do you do with the money? Because guess what? I don't care how much you win in the lottery. it can get spent. Uh, spent sound like the right word to say, but you could spend it all and be flat broke again. And you could have done that and not learned a thing. So that's the whole thing about this channel. I want you to learn something. I want you to learn life skills. You know, a lot of us got skills. A lot of us know how to make money. A lot of us know how to do a lot of things, but what direction are we going in with it? You know what I mean? They always say, do what you love and the money will come. That's true. But a lot of us don't even know what we love. We know what we want to do. We know what we like and stuff like that. But what is it? What is your calling? What is it that you really was put here to do? Now, me personally, I believe what my calling is, because I'm a people person. I think my calling is to help people, and not just help people, but help people help themselves. Because, hey, it's kind of really simple. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's simple. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that you just do every day, and it'll just make your life so much easy and so much better. But hey, you don't know what you know. You don't know what you don't know. Saying that if you don't know it, you don't know you know it. So therefore you don't know. Real simple, right? Yeah. So it's 4:30. Like I said, I gotta get ready to get out of here. Appreciate you checking in with me and watching, even if you're watching on the replay. And again, don't forget to check my man Being Real out, because if you don't check him out on your own, you will check him out through me anyway, because I'm gonna have him on and he gonna be giving us, and I say us because me too, I don't got it all together, but I'm getting it there. He gonna give us some game on real estate and just the market. And that's what I like watching this channel, because it's almost like news you can use. He puts you up on what's going down, you know, the economy. And one thing about life, if you stay a couple steps ahead, then you'll never fall behind. So on that note, hey, count is clear. You can leave your room or whatever, but don't leave the dorm until the compound is clear.